All right, we are in July of 2028. Uh, my last update was the preseason preview where the O's were predicted to do really well and kind of run away with the AL East. One of those things is true, as we are the best team in the majors, 58-31, playing 652 ball. And as you can see, though, the AL East is very competitive. The Yankees, 57 wins. The next best in the majors after the O's at 58, Yankees 57 is the Cubs at 51, and the next is the Red Sox at 50. So I guess they're tied with the Mariners for the fourth best record, the Red Sox are. But so three of the top five teams in the majors are in the AL East. The O's and the Yankees are 6 games better than the next team. So it's very competitive here in the AL East, although the O's are pretty good. Expanded standings. Run differential is good. We're +4 on our run differential, so we're perhaps a little bit better than our run differential at +97 says we are. But either way you slice it, any way you slice it here, it's a really good team. Been playing really well. And let's get into it a little bit. And here on the info page, runs scored first at 450, runs allowed third at 353. This is in the AL. The defense is about the top third, so pretty good, but not amazing. Home runs are not terrible. We'll take that, playing in Camden Yards, 11th. And, you can see first in almost everything here that matters on the offensive side of the ball. Second in slugging. That's the only thing, really. And so April, you can see 21-7, 18-11 in May, and then June was a little bit of a dip, 14-11, and we're running around 500. The offense really slumped in June. The offense was amazing early in the year, and really, by slumped, still first even after not a great month because the first couple months were so good. But just to get into what's what here, we'll go by runs created plus. So Bob Maldonado, obviously just ripping the cover off the ball at a 154. He's put up 2.8 WAR. Weinberger, the new right field addition, has been excellent. Cole Tucker, a 140. Colin Hall's hardly played. He's been up and down some, but he hasn't played too much. He's been really good when he has, but Gunnar Henderson, solid season from him. This would be by far his best offensive season if he can keep that up. Reese Albert was out for a while, hurt, but he's starting to he's heated up lately, while Williams, remember those are the two guys playing center field, has cooled down. Although Williams is the better fielder, and you can see down here he's put 1.1 WAR up despite just an 83 runs created plus. Albert's starting to run away with that job. Dylan Carlson, interesting here. His last 2 years, a 140 and then a 146 OPS plus, and this year just a 109. He's only on pace for 2.7 WAR after 5.3 and 6.6. And it all just comes down to that he's been really bad for a couple months. Let's go ahead and go here. Boom. If you just want to look at OPS plus, April put up a 133, May a 121, and then June a 70 and just an 86 so far, 6 games in July. And I don't know if I said the date, but it's July 7th, 2028. Sorry, I need some water there. And so Carlson's really had a bad 5 or 6 weeks now. He was crushing the ball early. He was off to what looked like another MVP caliber season and then just really has tailed off. And then let's see, Campusano's been above average at the 105, and then Soto, he's been fine. He's really gotten the everyday third base opportunity and hasn't done a lot with it. Hasn't locked it down. Mountcastle, little worrying after he had a down year last year, and now he's continued to dive off here, and he is 31. So, not a great start for him. And then we got Joe Mack, the backup catcher, has been solid, and 86 runs created plus. And that was he really had a great April and May and then trailed off much the way Carlson did. And then Drew Bowser's just been really bad in the utility role. You might notice Henry Wallen and A.J. Vukovich were 2 infielders I had battling for the third base job early in the year. I sent Wallen and Vukovich down basically to get an extra outfielder and to get Bowser up because he can play the best backup shortstop. And that way Vukovich and Wallen can work on other positions. I've got Wallen working on his third base, Vukovich working on his second base down in the minors. I'm about ready to call up Vukovich, though, to take some time at third base because Soto's trailed off, and he can also play first base to take some at-bats away from Mountcastle. So Wallen I'm not so sure about. I might leave him down to work on his third base. Pitching side of things, you might notice neither Asa Lacy or Olivian Delgado are listed here because they're both out hurt. Patino also missed about a month with an elbow injury. So pretty awesome that we've won 58 games with Lacey's out. He's going to end up missing about 3 weeks. Delgado just went out, I think, about a week ago, and he's going to miss about 6. And then Patino missed a month. But all right, so let's go by WAR. Dylan Lawson, who started the season as the 5th starter, 1.7 WAR in 116 innings. He's awesome. Mitchell Stone has been great. He's kind of gone back and forth between back into the bullpen and starting, but he's got 1.4 WAR. Cedarland's been solid. Patino's been pretty good. 3.9 FIP is great, much better than his 4.6 ERA. Feltman, been really solid. Jack Perkins is getting some starting opportunities now, my 8th overall pick from 2022. And he's been all right. He was really good as a reliever, put up a 1.39 ERA. Then as you can see, it's ballooned to 3.18 after 2 pretty rough starts since he went into the rotation. And, overall the bullpen's been really good. Nobody's been really bad. We got Gage Bradley up. He's a young guy up because of the injuries. Ronan Kopp, who was my 4th-round pick way back in 2020, is getting an opportunity as a long man out of the bullpen. Feltman, Andrews, Jones, all these guys have been here, and they're all pitching well. Corrigan. But this is the rotation for now. Lawson, Stone, and Perkins rounded out. And, like I said, that's because of these injuries here. Lacey should be back soon. Come on, go away. Lacey's back in 2 days. So he'll go out on rehab and maybe back in another, 10 days after that. Jaden Hill, who was another guy who he was filling in the majors, but with all the injuries, but he tore his flexor tendon in his elbow. He's out for the year. Livian Delgado will miss another 6 weeks. So it's really going to be, I don't know. By the time he goes on rehab, it might be September 1st that he's back if he's not going on rehab until like middle of August. So that's a bummer, but got the pitching depth. Really solid drafted guys, right? Like Lawson, Perkins, Corrigan, Kopp. All those are guys that I drafted, and I've got a few other guys down in AAA who are kind of more depth drafting. So I haven't drafted a lot of superstar pitchers, but drafted a lot of guys who are competent major league starters. A couple other big things that happened. Luis Patino was in the last year of his deal, but as you can see, signed him for 5 more years. So he's 28, and I really try to avoid signing pitchers to long-term deals at this point. But given where I'm at with having such a good opportunity to win with the core that I have right now, this contract might hurt on the back end, but it could hurt next year. Who knows? You never know. Pitchers at 28, 29 can go downhill quickly, but hopefully he'll age all right. So 5-year, $121 million deal. The richest 2 deals are the second and third richest seasons. And then the last year he's a player option, but it's the least amount of money in the deal. It's 21.5. So he'll make 22.5 next season. 5-year, $121 million deal though. And then we've got Asa Lacey, who is 29 now. Hard to believe. They grow up so fast. It's because he was drafted out of college. But so he was under contract this year, and then next year was his last year of arbitration. So what did I do? I signed him to a 3-year deal at the age of 29, which I'm comfortable with. He is a little injury prone, but we'll see. So he was projected to make about, I think, 11.5 or 12 million in arbitration next year. So he's going to make 13.3 instead next year, and then 2 free agent years at 20.5 million. And he is having an awesome season. Let me go back here. 2.73 ERA, 2.91 FIP, on pace for 5.3 WAR, and that's with time missed already calculated in. Was 4th in pitching all-star voting. He's striking out 9.9 guys per 9. The big difference is his walks are way down at 1.9, and his home runs are down at 0.8, which, as you can see, is well below his career. His career is 1.1 home runs per 9, and his walks are 2.0. So really, but if you look, that's really from his rookie years why those are down. The last few years he's run like 2.3 walks per 9 and 1.2, 1.4 home runs per 9. So he's having a great year, which is great to see, and been a big part of how I was able to survive without Patino for a while. And so standings wise and around the league, Phillies are leading it. Cubs, of course. Padres and the Dodgers, remember I said they're projected to come in last place, and that hasn't happened yet. And they're first and second, but it's a tight division. Juan Soto, where is he here? Oh, he's not in the top 3 in OPS right now. He's pretty much led the NL, as it's been pointed out. He's still having a great year. 147 OPS plus, on pace for what 5.1 more. So yeah, he's doing well. And so yeah, that's about it. I won't. Oh, and I'll show you a few of my draft picks. I won't go too far into the farm system right now because the video will just get too long. But if you ever want, let me know if you ever wanted an overview of the farm system. I could drill down on that stuff more. I try just to highlight guys that might be coming up soon and then top prospects, but I could always give you more of my farm system. So the draft happened. I drafted 20th overall and drafted this guy, Rob Colgate, who's a high school third base prospect. He could also play first base. He's not going to play anywhere else on the field, though. A power bat, though. 55 overall future value from OSA. My scout thinks he's 50, and again, it's a 20 to 80 scale with 50 being average. Off to a rough start in his first 9 games, but he was my first pick, and I'll show you like my first 5 rounds here. And then I did get the supplemental pick because of Jason Rosario leaving, and I offered him the qualifying offer. So 36 overall, I took Jake, I guess it's Crocier. Let's go with Crocier. Yeah, let's do that. From Norfolk, Virginia, left-handed college starting pitcher. 50 potential again, and so yeah, hopefully, and OSA I think was even higher, yeah, 60. So it looks like he's got an awesome curveball, good fastball, and pretty adequate everywhere else. So I think I did go a little heavy on the pitcher side to start. Yeah, another college arm here, Pat Paul, another 50 future value guy. That was my second round pick. Third round, I went back to a bat, another high school bat, Rishu Sato, who was an infield prospect who. I don't know. Probably with this arm is probably only playing second or first base in the infield, and he could probably play corner outfield. So, but looks like he could have a power bat if he develops. And then a couple more here. Got Billy Pierre. I'm gonna go with Pierre. From Virginia Beach, Virginia, a college arm out of East Carolina. A righty, throws 92 to 94, and doesn't look like anything spectacular, but again, pretty solid. You know, if you can get a 40 future value out of a 4th round pick, that's not bad. And then 5th round pick, Ben Maddock, and why his nickname up here isn't Auto, I don't know. But another college or high school bat. I actually didn't realize this. Like a lot of my early picks were either high school bats or college arms, which I don't know. So he's center field, and I think he could probably stick as a decent center fielder. And a good bat, 40 future value, so I'll take that out of the 5th round. So that's about it. And my farm system did drop to 2nd overall. It was 1st overall. Concepcion, my top prospect, doing well. Armendariz, the guy who came out of nowhere, is doing great. Sanchez, a bit of a down year. Ben Ortega, my 1st round pick from a couple of years ago, is tearing it up in A-ball. Ben Schilt, 1st round pick from 2025, is having a monster season in AAA. I don't want to call him up and start his service clock yet because basically he doesn't need to be out of the 40-man until the offseason. So I'd like to keep him down this year, but he might force his way into the picture if I have more injuries and he's pitching that well. So anyways, that's it for now. O's are off to a good start. I'll probably update after the trade deadline. I don't know how much I'm going to do. I would probably add first base or center field. Those are my 2 weak spots, but I don't know. Like I've said before, I try to be somewhat realistic in the amount of trades I make, and also like I enjoy roster building and having consistent guys with my team for a long time. So, I could go out and replace Mountcastle. I don't know. I kind of like sticking with him, seeing if he can bounce back. He's been with me forever. Center field, I have 2 strong fielders. And again, I could go out and make another trade for like an elite player, and maybe find a trade that will help my team this year. But I kind of like building with the guys that I have, and I've made a decent amount of trades the last several years for really good players. So and I have some center field options coming up in the system. So while it might be crazy to not go all in here, I really went all in last year and made a bunch of trades. I don't see making as many this year, but who knows? If I get in the mood and I'm messing around with it, I might make more trades, but we'll see. All right, that's all for now. Talk to you next time.